Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Luxury Sai Lounge. I'm your host, Luxury Sai. And this podcast is really based on a simple premise just to bring happiness into your heart and into your home with each episode. So, first of all, let me just say thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Please click like and click share if this just touches your spirit. Today, I have a very, very special topic, and I'm talking about delight. I'm recording this episode at the top of the month of December. This is actually, let me get my drum roll. What episode is this? I think this is episode, wait, hold on, let me pull this out real quick. We are at episode 478. So I'm recording this at the top of December in 2021. And I grew up in New York City, and there's just this amazement and spirit and wonder of the holiday season and the wonder of Christmas. And this has nothing to do with your religious belief or what you feel about the falsifications or commodification of Christmas and seasons and holidays. This is just about having a time of the year during the year that you can celebrate with family and friends to just reflect on your past year and then share hopes and dreams for the coming year. So that's how I look at this holiday season. It's very, very special to me. The holiday season at Christmas was very special to my mother, and then those types of things just passed down. And so when I was thinking about topics, and I sit back and plan our shows as best I can in advance, I just said, what do I want to talk about going into this holiday season? And it's really about delight. So I have a whole letter to the editor in this month's Luxury Sai at Home magazine. The letter from the editor, from myself to my wonderful readers, is really about being delightful, being a delightful person, and sharing in the delight and the spirit of this holiday season. And so when you look at what delight really means, I feel it's just about holding on to wonder. Just that little sparkle in your eye, in the sky, in the world, that those things that still cause amazement to you. That's what I feel delight is. When somebody does something nice for you, don't they say, wow, that was delightful? Or if you have a wonderful little ganache or a little snack or a little tassie or a little piece of crumb cake that just satisfies your palate, wow, that was delightful. Or when you have a moment, a wonderful moment that's just so simple, simple, that was delightful. A lovely cup of tea, that was nice. That's where the spirit of delight in my heart comes from. And when you talk about how to usher and maintain delight in your life, there have been experiences in my life that have just been absolutely magical. And I found myself just wrapped up in joy. That's where delight comes from. And I think as we're coming out of the COVID pandemic and we're wading our way through this Omicron variant, we have to still be able to find joy. And it's my prayer that by this time in our life and in society, we're not using things to bring happiness and joy into our lives. Right now, I just saw this morning on the news that another 2.x million people have quit their jobs, and they're not they're not going back. Now, this is really an existential threat to our social security system, which I can get into. That's another conversation for another day. But the reality is this: people, this COVID pandemic, and now this variant, people are really, really assessing what is the meaning of life? What am I supposed to be doing? What do I want my legacy to be? And that's where delight comes from. What are those things that bring a sparkle to your eye and that will ignite inspiration and action in the next generation because you were here on earth, because you served humanity. We're always going to have sad times and sad moments. And I think we have to really look at the long term effects of what COVID has done to us. But you know what? In the spirit of delight, I think that's the last time I'm going to say in this episode the C word. I don't even want to bring that into this conversation. So often, feelings of grief and sadness are accompanied by big moments, but delight is brought to us by the simple things: catching that red light, being able to watch your favorite TV show uninterrupted. If you found yourself wedged between two of your most favorite people in the planet, that's a moment to celebrate. That's delight. And as I dig deeper just into what delight means and how to bring delight into your life, I feel like I'm just touching the surface because there's so many wonderful things and places that we can go. Wasn't that a book with Dr. Seuss? Oh, the places we can go. Let your imagination take you away. Don't lose the innocence of being a child. And I had to find a place in my home that was just mine. Finding a place in my home that was just mine where I can bask and luxuriate, in the infamous words of gossip talk host Wendy Williams, and luxuriate in my own space. If that's what you have to do, if you have to carve out that space, then that's something that needs to be done. I know somebody right now. I don't want to say who she is because I know she listens to this podcast, but she turned her closet into a portion of her closet into a sanctuary. And she chronicled it on social media, which I found so fascinating. And literally, we were able to watch her transform her closet, watching the shelves come down, this little nook in her closet into a sanctuary. Now, most places where I'm from, New York, New Jersey, a closet is barely big enough for you to stand in. But the point is, find a place that's just yours. Find a place that's just yours. Find a place where no matter what, this is recognized as your safe sanctuary where you can delight in life's little things. You know, the holiday season is a wonderful time to delight other people. And so I will say this, and I'm sure some of them listen to this podcast. Every person who has a birthday in the month of December, I've sent them a very unexpected Starbucks gift card just for a cup of coffee, $5, because I want to delight someone. Now, is it something that I could probably do throughout the course of the year? I probably could, but this is something that's so unexpected. And as the recipients of these wonderful little gift cards that I'm giving them to enjoy a cup of coffee or a cup of tea on me, they are all sending text messages back. Oh my goodness, Saida, thank you for remembering my birthday. This was such a wonderful surprise. That's what I want people to feel when they deal with me. That right there, when you just check your email and it says Saida just sent you a gift card to Starbucks, it doesn't even matter that it's $5. Just the fact that you thought about somebody and you brought sunshine and happiness into their day. That's what we're here on earth for. Not just because it's December, but truthfully, that's what we are here for. We are here to make the world and the people around us and the places around us better. I'm sure as a child you heard you have to leave a place better than when you found it or leave a place better than when you got there. That's what we're supposed to do. This holiday season, let's do both. Let's bring delight into the lives of others and then bring delight into our lives as well. Let's look at traditions. What traditions are we celebrating? One thing I can say about the holiday season is that it can be traumatizing because everybody doesn't have these magical memories like I do. And not all of my memories from my childhood are good. I mean, we just shared this is podcast what 470 something. You go back into those shows in 2009, I chronicled my mom's transition from ovarian cancer, and then I took a long break from hosting this podcast because I went through trauma and there was some things that I really had to work through. But we have to look at what traditions can we keep and what traditions can we get rid of to maintain the spirit of happiness and wonder in our lives. You know, I put up my tree right around Thanksgiving, and I happened to be in Michael's last week. And let me just say, these stores are so picked over. Number one, they didn't have a lot of inventory to begin with, but the inventory that's in the stores now, as I record this podcast, the second week of December in 2021, I mean, the pickings are so slim. But anyway, I was in Michael's just looking for some little fun things to add to the house, little hooks to hang stockings on and things like that. And I found an ornament and I'm like, what is this? Is this a Christmas boot? And it was a glass blown roller skate. It is a roller skate ornament. I have never, ever, 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 ever in all of my Christmases, and I've been on this earth for 50 Christmases already, seen an ornament that's a roller skate. Now here's the thing. I haven't really looked for one, but I haven't found one either. And when I found this, I just had to have it. I'll actually put it on my blog. The blog is luxurysai.com. And I'll probably try to squeeze this ornament into an article in Luxury Sai at Home in next week's magazine, just so you can see it. But you'll definitely see it on a blog post on luxurysai.com. But it's those little things. And can I tell you, it was like $12.99. And as anything with Michael's, it's probably like 40% off or 20% off. So I probably paid $6 for this. When I tell you, I wrapped this roller skate ornament up like none other. I probably wrapped it up just as good as my Tiffany champagne flutes are. When I moved from my apartment into my house, I wrapped those Tiffany champagne glasses up so well so they wouldn't break. And that's exactly how I felt when I was coming out of Michael's that day. Just because there was such a wonderful and delightful spirit of happiness and the joy that it brought to me. I mean, really, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? I think so. So yes, I can't wait to share my roller skate Christmas ornament with you. And I just want to share one more thing as I start to wind this little chat with you down. Do not resist the opportunity to make amends and gather with friends and family this holiday season. I would never advocate any of us going into a vulnerable or toxic situation, right? But life is so short. We don't know how much time we have left, and we don't know how much time others have left. Few things bring me such happiness and delight than gathering around a table with family and friends and a good wine, of course, because y'all know by now I love a good glass of Cabernet. But use this season, if it's possible, to recalibrate relationships, those that brought delight into your life at some point, and perhaps in the lives that you brought delight into. You are the light. Be grateful that we've made it. I said I was not using the C word for the rest of this episode, and I'm not going to, but I will say this. I'm grateful that God has given us the opportunity to have wonder and delight in our lives. Because there's people in this world that are hungry, people that don't have, people that they experience lack and limitations in their lives. So if you woke up this morning with a place to live, money in your pocket, a person, even if it's just one person to love you, there is something in your life to be delightful for. And I challenge you to flip through the stories in your life and and appeal to your inner child to never lose the wonder and magic of delight and the whimsy of this holiday season. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for letting me talk about delight and for you hearing what's in my heart today. Always remember that we shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that we can do, or any kindness that we can show to any human being, let us do it now. Let us not defer or neglect it, for we shall not pass this way again. Thank you so much for listening to the Luxury Sai Lounge. And don't forget to click like and click share if you like the podcast. And please take an opportunity to become a subscriber. I would love to stay in touch with you and send me messages. I'm on Instagram at Luxury Sai. I answer all my DMs. Don't lose the magical whimsy of delight in your life today, and I will see you at the next episode.